What up? What up? What up? Man, this is What Talk Radio. We are here live. I am Kenny B, and I am with my side chick, my wife. How y'all doing today? This is Shalia Bachelor, and
why you be giving my whole?
Because shit,
I don't give a dang anyway.
right. We got some stuff set up for you today, man. It's gonna be kind of wild and crazy. Another episode, and where we at, baby?
We are at LA Creative Music Group in Los Angeles, obviously.
Oh, okay. So today, man, I really want to rap about these 500 different protesters went out throughout the city, throughout the country. I'm sorry. They've been going crazy. I hate to say it, they've been going crazy. Have you seen some of the protesters?
I did see some. I purposefully looked due to the advisory for myself to stay home. But I was like, oh, let me see.
So basically, I guess it was something going on with secretly black people were to stay their self at home.
Yes, I was at home.
And
you was at work.
It was one of those things that I guess, like, you know, like we ain't got no dog in this fight type thing. It wasn't
Right.
against anybody or trying to not help anybody. It was more of like, we don't have a dog in this fight. And when I've walked upon a protest, it was more of like the KKK thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tesla, and you know, they really protesting against everything that he set out to do to fix, right? So, and I'm not on Trump's side for as like, you know, I'm a Trump supporter, nothing like that, but I will say this. I know that it's going to take some things to change that we're going to have to draw back on to understand, you know, to get to the point where we need to get.
I do believe that.
Like you can't get the fruit 2 days. It's going to take a process to get the plant to grow, and then it has to blossom.
That's part of the problem is they're not going through a lot of natural processes, so people don't want to wait anymore.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Dre, you got that reel of the protesters?
I call it microwave time. Everybody want it done in microwave time.
Yeah, our grandson wanted it to be microwave time. He'd get on stage and just want to be famous. It's like, bro, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work, the time, the effort, all those things, man, they matter. So, yeah man. Yeah.
Lower
We're not going to give up without a fight.
If we don't stand up,
Stop.
we won't have a country tomorrow.
We are fighting literally for democracy.
Every issue from taking away people's social security.
The sound of agitated Americans who took to the streets this weekend for what was called hands-off demonstrations. In all, more than 1,200 events occurred across the country, organized principally, but not exclusively, by Democrats to speak out against a wide array of Trump administration policies. I want to bring in Robert Costa, who spoke with Senator Bernie Sanders for CBS News Sunday morning about some of this tumult, some of the issues driving it, and where the protest movement or moment finds itself. Robert, great to talk to you. We have some sound from that interview I want to get into a moment, but Bernie Sanders is no stranger to populist roiling in American politics. Does he have any sense of how this moment is or isn't different from those in his more recent past?
Major, great to be with you. You recall when we covered 2017 and those early marches during the first Trump presidency, and there seemed to be at that time a galvanizing of the left, of many Democrats against President Trump. There's been a question in Washington and across the country in recent weeks, when would there be a resistance that made itself noticeable politically in this country? And the figure in recent weeks who has drawn more crowds, bigger crowds than anyone, is Senator Bernie Sanders, the progressive independent of Vermont. I also covered the protests over the weekend in Washington, Major. And if you couple together the weekend protests with what Senator Sanders and others have been doing on the road, you're starting to see an emerging opposition movement against the Trump presidency. It's been a little slower to action than we saw in 2017. But this time around, it's about getting working people back to the left, to not have that siren song to the right, as many Democrats worried.
Because I didn't even know that old man trying to get, he's still trying to get into stuff, man. Like, Bernie, for real. Like, Bernie, give it up, please, brother. Brother, that's too much. So, with that being said, you know, the protest is about everything. And they not only, you know, just going after his decisions for his, like, lawmaking and stuff like that, Social Security and stuff. He actually going for, like, the choice that he made to have Elon Musk as a consultant.
Right.
Right. And Dre, could you show me a Tesla upside down? Man, they got this thing going around on social media talking about a Tesla upside down is a certain symbol, and is to prove that he is a
certain participant of a certain group.
Right. And it's funny because, you know, my plight is when he did that certain gesture at the inauguration, I didn't see nobody protest against him doing that.
No.
Nobody stood out. The people that's protesting now.
Right.
Nobody came out and said, hey, did you just see what he did? Oh, man, that is something that we should be standing together against. So this is why I feel that it was a hidden type of thing that came out within people of color, or especially BLK people, right? It was a special hidden harmony within the community. Realized, like, hold up, this ain't our dog.
Not our business.
Yeah, our dog ain't in this fight, because they definitely didn't come out and say anything when he did that certain gesture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He hit his heart. You know, I know because we come in, we hit our heart, and that means something. Like, it really, really means something. Like, man, I'd die for you. That's what that means. When you see somebody do like that, oh man, that dude is telling you, I'd die for you. So when he hit his heart and did his little gesture, like, man, none of these people that I see out here protesting right now came out during that time and protested against that. How could you let somebody come over here and do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be so over all those type of things, and here goes somebody on a national platform, a government platform, and do that. Like, we get people to jump on Kanye West for saying certain things, you know what I'm saying? And you mean to tell somebody do something like that you might as well just had a noose on the stick.
That was a great interview. I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, big ups to Academic and Kanye West interview. He actually had a good interview.
Amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go
point.
check it out, man. I know y'all probably seen the clip of it or a picture. But click on that and check out that interview, man. If you're an artist, especially if you're an artist, bro, I don't care what nobody say. Sometimes, as an artist, man, we say things and we don't know that.
He didn't have on the Black Klan's outfit.
Absolutely, you should watch it.
Yeah, he had a Black Klan's outfit. Did you got that upside down Tesla?
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Okay.
You gotta fast forward it a little bit, because I'm personally not familiar with Academic.
Well,
so
no, I would say this, because they got a part when he's inside of the house.
Yeah.
Right? When you ain't got to go in a cab and while he was driving, because I seen something of him getting in the cab stuff. But when he's going in the house, I really think that you even should look at that, especially as
No,
an
you
artistic
should
person,
look.
because he was showing his artistic view of how,
His expression.
how he wanted to.
Yeah, because when
be
he
seen.
first came in, it's not like the interview just started and he's just like that.
Yeah,
No, he
yeah.
was regular,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know.
So, it's just one of those things that I really think that.
I think it's important for some people to know his perspective. His perspective is not false.
Yeah, because
If
sometimes
his perspective was false, then I would not be able to support it.
I think we get caught up in. I think we get caught up in a. I don't even got a specific name for it, but I think we get caught up in a situation where we, as black people, make poor look good.
Absolutely. But
Like-
when that's all you know,
Like we have expressed our struggles so much till it is markable and to be identified as if somebody who's not of our culture relate themselves to what we have struggled to get through to make themselves feel normalized
right.
of going to or to compare themselves against us
Right.
when they probably never had that type of life for real, but to be able to conquer all these things as a person, let alone a race, and they see how you grew. You have people that basically justifying their success because they can relate to black people because they did it. And we get caught up in that and not realize how much we have to tell our story and how valuable those stories is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Those stories are like my story, your story, Dre's story. You know what I'm saying? We can sit here and write books, man, and people will sit there and buy them and make movies from them, and you know what I'm saying? Or try to relate themselves after they didn't conquer their success.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we never realized people feed off of us like that. People really feed off of us. You got it, bro? I was talking about the Tesla.
Oh shit.
I still want to see that little show them the Tesla. If not, it's cool.
I can pull it up.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just really think that that's what we get caught up in. You know what I'm saying? How we don't know how wonderful we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we can have something that's so simultaneously with one word sent out and the beat of the tribe will echo throughout the whole
Right.
country.
Right.
And this is one of those things that echo out, and that's what makes me so proud of being a black person, that to have that unisex of knowing who we are, you know what I'm saying, and what we can be. And I think most people get so frustrated of trying to get everybody back on that page more than just one time. Or, you know what I mean? Like, non-violent and nothing. We just sit back and just watch.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
very
mean?
important.
You know.
It's very important. I think not participating is really important. That's how I've chose to live my life. Like, I don't have to participate in anything.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, protesters going out there, they shooting rubber bullets and wooden blocks
Yeah.
and tear gassing people. Man, I ain't going out there to do
I don't
all
have
that.
to
I
participate
don't have to
in
participate to be able to
anything.
counter what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And if we get back into the sync of knowing that, you know what I'm saying, holding it the way we're supposed to hold it, to let whatever goes on go on, but let's, better
We should
us.
be building the same time that they over there at their protests. We should be, building amongst ourselves, while they're over there busy.
Yeah, because we got another plight other than them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And our issues are quite different.
Right.
Much
So,
different.
what we got next on the agenda, Dre? What we can do next? Cause I wanna get nasty and dirty, tell the truth. I know. What can we pull up first? Because we still gonna get to the law book. The law book is definitely gonna. We got something for y'all for that. It's the understanding, and literally the legal word for the understanding. And yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
No, but not yet though. Just find it just so
Okay.
we can be ready for that one. What you got for me, Dre?
Terrence Howard.
Who house?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Yeah, let's go on and talk about
Sorry.
Mr. Terrence Howard, man. Mr. Terrence Howard, man. He this interview really kind of went to the left because the guy was really, how you open up an interview, you talk about the guy's history first or whatever, but they was talking about that and they went into a science, but then they went into another situation. And the reason why I'm showing this because I want to tell y'all the backstory of what happened to me. Okay? So I'm in the gym. I'm working out. I'm focused. It's a.m. in the morning, like 6 o'clock a.m. in the morning. The people normal who be there, you know what I'm saying? They there. Maybe some, a couple of new people or whatever. I'm not tripping. I'm just looking focused, trying to get my mind straight. I got things I want to do, I have to do, trying to get my body back right and everything. So I'm like, I'm just focused. I'm sitting there doing my exercise and doing the set that I'm doing. I'm looking forward, straight ahead. It's looking out a window, you know what I'm saying? But it's a guy kind of extra when he doing his sets and shit, walking and, talking or whatever. So I'm like, okay, but the dude keep coming in my view. So as he come in my view, just catch, I guess we catching eyes or whatever, but I'm not tripping because I'm just making sure because my PTSD be tripping sometimes. And I'm making sure there ain't nobody just running up on me or nothing. You know what I mean? So dude just kept doing it, whatever. So he come by talking in the air, but like kind of talking towards me, but because I'm the only person that he keep walking into the view of my eyeballs. We catch your eyeballs to a man look at another man in the eye 3 times. He must like me. And I'm like, hold up, I know that's nigga, I love women. What the hell you talking about? Oh, see, if you answered it, that mean you do. So, in other words, I feel like this dude just Jenga legged me. Okay?
Jangling.
He Jenga legged me off of life. Like he Jenga legged me. So I live in Los Angeles. I'm used to dudes banging on me. Hey, cuz, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to that. You know what I'm saying? Where you from? All that? No. Where you from? I'm used to all that. I never have a problem with that. That is a normal thing to me. But I never got banged on by a homosexual for homosexuality. I never did. So, because the dude, as he said that, I flared up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he knew it and he walked away. So as he was walking away, another brother was like, man, how much you want to bet that he do that? He mess with boys. And I'm like, hold up, this nigga banged on me like trying to set trip on some gay stuff? Like, and when he realized I was a man, you know what I'm saying? He burnt out. So, to say this about that or whatever, man, it had me messed up for a minute because I had to really leave the gym because I felt a certain type of way.
Well,
You know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
say that recently I had a conversation with someone who went to a like a black gay men conference. Let's just say something like that. And
conference?
she was telling me about some things that were
It was a real she, right?
it was a
Okay.
female who was telling me
Okay.
about her experience. She had a reason to be there, right? For her occupation and friendship with someone else. So she attended this thing to support this person, but also learn because of her occupation. So she said that one thing that she remembered was a young man saying that he felt that older men should like have more couth about them when they're in, like, for instance, like in pride parades, at clubs, that him as a young gay black male, he feels that the older men like push up on them, and he wanted to bring it to the attention that he would appreciate if the older black gentleman wouldn't come off so like aggressively. So when you say that, even in their community, right?
This was a younger dude.
It even in their community, they have different plates, right? And how they're approaching each other.
I don't care about none of that.
But
what I'm saying
that's
is,
why I'm saying
we
that,
in the gym,
yes.
okay?
But
Don't
there's
nobody supposed to be there trying to pick up nobody. I ain't there to pick
they
up
pick
nobody.
up wherever they can.
I don't care. When you mess with a real man, you ain't finna. I don't care about rules and what they want. That's something that's the problem. They want to set rules for certain people to recognize them for what it is. I'm a man in the gym working out. I don't want to know your rules. I don't want to know if you look at a man in the eye 3 times. That's a sign of you like a man. You like him soft and supple.
But they
like
have
a lady.
their little things that they do to see what
But
they could get.
I'm working out. I ain't trying to do it. So to get off of that, because I don't care about them. It's how Terrence Howard manhood stood up, and it was just a natural thing. And I related to, because that's pretty much what he's saying. I don't care about what's going on because I'm just trying to do what I'm doing. But when you come in there, doing the other stuff, looking at it and gazing at me and not doing it, I didn't know that you was on some type of stuff like that. So, you got it, Dre? Yeah. Let's see what it is, because
No, even
it is frustrating. It's
It
frustrating
is.
for a man. I didn't know you got to get gang banged on by that.
Losing
type of
out
stuff.
money. You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far. Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he
And this
had
what happened
do
to a
in
lot
order
of
to get to
people.
where he was at. There's a lot of things that
One-time
people
hitters.
do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. Where when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card,
What is that? What do you mean by that?
you give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it.
That part.
So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, you know, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy.
Lots of it.
And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all...
So that's pretty much, man, what Terrence Howard was saying, man. And he had a little story about how Diddy was trying to, you know, hit on him as well. But, you know, it's just one of those things that as a man, you know, you coming out here, you trying to do what's right, you know, or a woman, you're trying to go out here in this industry and trying to do it. And it's elements of people that will make a deal with you, you know what I'm saying? But in your mind and in your heart and your soul of you working so hard, you sold that out just for that, just to be that, you know what I'm saying? Instead of working hard. Like, I could truly say, like I was saying earlier, how when me and Dre ever make it, you know what I'm saying, whenever we make it, right? We can literally say, man, we did this shit from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We bought cameras, we hustled to, you know what I'm saying, to get this shit going for us, like, you know, the production, how we do our little videos and stuff. We didn't have to go to these prestigious schools, you know what I'm saying? We have the background. Dre did go to music school, art school, and, you know, I did, you know, like I said, my art school. We got backgrounds but to do it like the rawest way of doing it is more rewarding than somebody giving it to you because you gave yourself up to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And even when you give yourself up to them, they don't have even an inkling of what we have. You know what I'm saying? Because you still need the people to run it. You didn't learn how to do it yourself.
People are preying on that too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the industry, and that's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And when you in an industry, it's an indoctrination. It's a perception of what you're getting, and that's what I want to kind of go into. This perception of they giving us to this person named Jesus Christ. Dre, you got my John 19, 20, 25. Because I got to do it, man. I just got to, you know, because this is for entertainment purpose only, you know what I'm saying? What I think.
Just an opinion.
Yeah, just an opinion is what I think. But, you know, when people, you know, give out their verses and understanding of things, we got to understand how people manipulate us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I can show you how a way that it's easier. Rather, I know that this book ain't true. You know what I'm saying? But for me to have my urban translation of it, you know what I'm saying? I have an urban translation of the Bible that goes in my head. So when I read things, you know what I'm saying, I'm seeing it for what it says. You know what I'm saying? Not what somebody's telling me that you should say. You know, and that's what Terrence Howard basically broke the theory of a lot of stuff and have these patterns and stuff because he didn't go through, and they don't want to credit him for his work because he didn't go through as a colleague,
right.
You know what I'm saying, of their schools and stuff like that. So, but that doesn't make him wrong.
Yeah,
you
or less educated.
Yeah.
Or have less understanding understanding.
So you got that one, Dre? Yeah, that John 19:25 through 27. You know, and when Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved, this one for me. Look at that. You see that? Y'all see that? Because it stood by the cross. Near by the cross, Jesus stood his mother and his mother's sister and the wife of, what's that word, baby?
Mary, the wife of Clopas.
But.
And Mary Magdalene.
Right. But gonna go down to 27. Where the other verse at, brother? It's 26 and 27. You know, because basically this is at the cross, Jesus dying. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wonder why on Easter Sunday they talk about this cross. Right, when he died. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is when he died. Why is this so significant? Because his birth, the birth of Jesus, wasn't nothing. It was 3 people there that came and gave him some little stuff and whatever. He was about to get killed and shit. You know what I'm saying? But when this nigga died, why is this so important? And it just, because you go to church on Easter Sunday, you put on your Sunday best and stuff like that, and you go and pray. They got Easter egg bunnies and stuff, or chocolate. The rabbits had laying eggs. It was just crazy.
They don't lay eggs.
Yeah, but you learned that was the fertility god, that the pagan holiday of that, what they're celebrating of fertility. Rabbits have sex a lot, and they have a lot of babies. So what it was back in the day, they would dress up with paint and stuff all over, and they would have sex with intercourse with each other, no matter who it was. You know what I'm saying? Because basically they were saying that it represent all different people that they would, have sex with it. But really it was about the fertility god, and it was a sexual holiday. So people here are celebrating a sexual holiday for Jesus dying on the cross. But I was like, why would they do that? How is that connected or whatever? So when I found out that, I was like, man, something just ain't right. I was a little kid. I was like, I'm going to find out what's going on. So as I got older, King James wrote to the queen to reply to her for scolding him for, deeming the bloodline as royalty, you know what I'm saying, to people that was outside. So the Buckingham Palace is actually a lover of King James. So Buckingham Palace is actually between. So he wrote back like, hold up, Jesus had James. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, Jesus had John. What you tripping off of? You know what I'm saying? In my urban translation.
In your urban translation.
Yeah. Jesus had John. I'm trying to, act with my little gay voice. Jesus had John, so what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? It's a biblical thing, so it's I can be able to name my lovers because he died on the cross. So I was like, man, let me find out where Jesus and John was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I Googled, and I was like, hey, what's the coalition with, Jesus and John? And it popped up. It said, John was the disciple whom Jesus loved. I said, oh, man, I got to find out. I said, where is that verse? Right? Where is that verse? And it goes to John 19, 25 through 27, right? So I go and I find out. And at the cross, there was Mary, the 3 Hail Marys. They are in the church when they go to crowd. They say 3 Hail Marys, and you're forgiven. You know what I'm saying? All that. So 3 Hail Marys, because Mary Magdalene, Mary the mom, and Mary the auntie. But when Jesus saw the disciple whom he loved, he said, woman. He didn't even call his mama. He said, woman. He disrespected her. Then he called him his son. Now, John was the only one that ever called Jesus God. That he was God. You know what I'm saying? So, whoo, you ready for that one? Go on, let me throw that up. Where is that? And it's near the cross, you know what I'm saying, bam, bam, bam. And it said, and the disciple whom Jesus loved stood nearby and said to her, Woman, here is your son. And to the disciple, here is your mother. From that time on, the disciple took her into his home. So basically what they're saying, he's a widow. That's what the widow, if my mother was alive and I died or something, hey baby, take care of my mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Take care of my mama. Like a widow. Now his auntie there, Mary Magdalene, you couldn't ask one of them. But this is the disciple whom you loved. You love this man. And so I went and dug deeper. I was like, man, hold up. Somebody else got to know who did this. So I went to John 21 and 20. Go to John 21 and 20. And when you see this, you know what I'm saying, it was somebody else that knew that, you know, the other disciples knew this, because when you go through it, he is known for laying his head on Jesus' chest. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? He is the one that he was washing his feet at the supper table. It was the last romantic dinner. Because Peter got mad. Peter got mad and said, you ain't just going to wash my feet. You going to wash me from my head to my hands. Now, we all know how we go to the bathroom. You need your hands. So you going to wash me from my head to my hands? What's down there? Now, you out there, because Peter already naked. Because you remember he sold his clothes for a sword. That's how he cut that dude's ear off. He cut the dude's ear off with it. And Jesus loved it back on, said, who lives by the sword dies by the sword, Peter. Right? Here. Hey, you got that, Dre? Yeah, man. So all I'm saying is, you know, these people will give you a translation or indoctrination. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to read that stuff for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I can go deeper than just what I'm saying, you know, but I also will show you the pictures of how they perceive, you know, this. They put it out there and we just don't look at it and see it. So when you tell people that, you know, Jesus died, you know, for blasphemy, right?
It's hard to hear when you've been indoctrinated for a certain thing, though.
His crime was blasphemy. Easy. He was saying that he was the son of God and was doing that type of stuff in the woods, and they caught him because Judas came up and kissed him in the mouth. That was to prove that was what the 30 pieces of silver are for. He could have easily said, there go Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You got fingers and everything else, but you walked up to him, said, "Hail, Rabbi," meaning you were, you know, you're a high priest, right? And I kiss you in your mouth,
right?
Man, them soldiers took him off in the night. Like, oh no, bro, that's total blasphemy. They paid him for that.
To expose it.
To expose what was going on in dark. They was out in the woods. Peter already naked. He washing the other dude's feet. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, they having some type of ritual out in the woods. Mm-hmm. Mary couldn't come. Mm-hmm. Mary Magdalene couldn't come to that. Because it was a male retreat. You got it, Dre.
They be having a lot of those even nowadays.
So, you know, but it was just one of those things that you have to understand, man. They get us with all this little crazy stuff. Did you find an understanding, baby?
Yes, he's ready.
Okay, let me see where it's at. Okay, Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved. There it go again. There it go again. Whom Jesus loved. See, people talking about he was without sin. This man is evidently loving another man. He was the youngest disciple and the second. His brother name was James, but John was the youngest boy. You know what I'm saying? So right there it says Peter turned around. So Peter already knew that, you know, this is his lover, and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved was following them.
This was the one who had leaned back against Jesus at the supper and had said, "Lord, who is going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he asked, Lord, what about him?
So, you got any of those pictures I had sent you from this right here, Dre? The thing is, like I said, we don't read this for ourselves. Now, on Easter, they will tell you about Jesus dying on the cross, but they will leave out
what happened right before.
Whom did Jesus love? They say, and at the cross, it was Mary Magdalene and Mary this and Mary that, and the disciple. And he said, woman, you know what I'm saying? They skipped the word, and the disciple whom Jesus loved.
Right.
They skipped that. And I know that from Easter Sundays. You know, trying to get into this stuff as a kid and stuff.
Is
and
that your photo?
Yeah, and see what it is, that's John with Mary. You see what I'm saying? That's his lover. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the pictures and stuff, you will see Jesus and Mary with a solid halo over their head, right? And they would have John with a thin halo over his head. It was a hollow halo. You know what I'm saying? And that was just that would show you that the family ties. That was his auntie and his mother. Then John, because Mary Magdalene there too, and she don't have no halo over her head or anything. Only John. So what makes him so significant to be holy too?
Right.
Because that was his lover. Now see there? Look at him. He up there watching that man's feet. And look at Peter. Peter back there like, nigga, you ain't just gonna watch my feet. They talking about it was a kind gesture. There ain't no kind gesture. That's a male retreat. Look at, when people go out there and, in the woods and they playing them little...
I don't think you should show kindness to...
I'll never watch Dre. I'm not washing your feet. I will pay a fine Asian woman to hook you up.
A very fine Asian woman.
Pedicure, long time. I'm not washing your feet.
I feel you.
And I'm not going to go around talking about Dre is the handcrafted dude whom I love.
Right. Upon your death.
My death walking around everything else. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I ain't saying none of that shit. Man.
I feel you.
As a man.
Yeah.
Like Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is women don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't have like the foot washing thing isn't part of like our womanly culture.
No, I don't see not today, not these days. Back in the day, you will see some girls in the kitchen cutting their hair and stuff like that.
No, I'm saying specifically washing of the feet. The women, like, if we do it, it's because the woman is old or injured.
Yeah,
it's not y'all know specifically as men, y'all know about the washing of the feet thing.
Yeah, I ain't washing on another man's feet.
I've seen
I
it done in
church. I have shine shoes, so that's the closest I'm getting to some feet. It better not have no toes in that motherfucker, like just moving around while I'm shining.
The little half boots the girls have with just their toes out, but it's a whole boot. I'm sorry, I don't like those. Yeah. I just find it to be pointless.
Yeah. They trying to show off them toes and her feet like this for real.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if you have the best toes, I just think those are funny looking shoes.
Okay, other in news.
Oh, that's you.
In news, the tariffs. Can I get one of the pictures of the tariffs, man, of how basically, we have all these other countries that we're paying these tariffs and stuff for, and we really can't get over the hump or grow as a country if we constantly allowing other peoples to tax our citizens to sell their stuff in this country. for a very low price, and they tax us hard when we go over there and buy anything from Europe or China. You know, they put a tax on us if we go buy anything from Temu right now. You know what I'm saying? If I buy anything from it's $10, $12 before the tariffs. You know what I'm saying?
Shipping costs as much as the product.
Then I'm gonna wait around about 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So that plays a factor too. You know what I'm saying? So if we allow people to come over here and sell their products in America, and we can't profit as a company or have a better deal because you are operating, we ain't getting it on like a little wholesale or something. You know, like, bro, like that ain't cool. So basically what Trump did has, you know, this is how, you know, pretty much how they always been hitting us. So when he's talking about, you know, putting 20% taxes on them, you know what I'm saying, now it's a problem. How do you think that we're going to survive? How do you think we're supposed to win? We ain't a country that's supposed to let people decide our demise so they can take over.
We're not supposed to.
We don't supposed to do that, and we don't have no contract with anybody to say that's what America is. It says America's dream. You can come here and do, you know, this and that, but to total take over from the people who's actually called themselves Americans, you know what I'm saying, who's been here, that's opened these doors so you can come in here. Now you just want to, you know, just wipe us totally out, and everybody thinking that's okay. It's going to take a process. We're going to, it's what they say, it's going to be darker days before we get brighter. It's going to be dark nights before it gets to brighter days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to know that. We got to know that sometimes y'all going to have to cut back on all the little crazy stuff that y'all want.
Yeah, because it's just consumerism.
Yeah.
America is a consumerism-based economy.
And give that stuff to the people in this country. See, we got Nike, Walmart, Gap. All these people are literally Chinese-based companies. You know, getting all their products from out of. So it's like, damn, hold up. You buying Nike?
A Cadillac isn't an American-made car if you get the parts made, assembled, and shipped back over here from another country.
Right.
It doesn't make it American-made, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's the problem, because the Americans don't have the job. If Nike was over here, that'd give a job so people wouldn't have to be lazy. They would go to Nike and make that happen. But now they got so comfortable with these corporations that, hey, I can get my stuff made over there for cheap and come over here, so I'm going to make more and more profit. And now the people that they doing that and we buying it so much or whatever, them over in their country, they living well off, and we still a consumer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, hold up, we supposed to be gaining.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where is we gonna set up to gain?
Right.
You know, and that tariff stuff, man, that's a start. And like you said, it's about the fentanyl stoppage too, right?
Yes. Yes. That if you, I mean, part of what I personally understand, in my opinion, what he feels is that because they are bringing, or it shows that those countries are the manufacturers and or the distributors to this country specifically. So if he believes that if he puts tariffs on it, then it would slow down the entrance of fentanyl. And also if you increase the price of fentanyl, right? Because right now we're having like $1.50, you know, you could get, you know, high. So if you have a tariff, then that's going to make the dope also become higher on the streets. If it's less affordable, people will use it less.
Right. So, okay, Dre, I want you to
long term though.
Bring up the understanding, because we're gonna get into the understanding real quick, man, to break this down, because we use this word every day, and this is in the Black Law Dictionary. The meaning of understanding, I want to run through that, man, because it's we use the one out of Webster, and we don't know how how powerful this word of telling somebody that have taken an oath that I understand you, I stand under you. You know. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Just it's just a little prop or whatever where we just so people understand to take on this contract. So, go ahead, baby.
Okay. It says to know, to apprehend the meaning, to appreciate as to understand the nature and effect of an act. Mm-hmm. And then it has the case law. To have a full and clear knowledge of, to comprehend. Thus, to invalidate a deed on the ground that the grantor did not understand the nature of the act. The grantor must be incapable of comprehending that the effect of the act would devise him of the title to the land set forth in the deed. So that's an example. As used in connection with the execution of wills and other instruments, the term includes the realization of the practical effects and consequences of the proposed acts. See capacity. That's understanding in law of contracts and agreement, and implied agreement resulting from the express terms of another agreement, whether written or oral. A valid contract engagement of somewhat informal character. This is a loose and ambiguous term unless it is accommodated by some expression to show that is constituted a meaning of the minds and parties upon something respecting which they intend to be bound.
So basically, when the police tell you, do you understand these rights that I am giving you? And you say yes. What are you doing according to understanding that?
You're making an agreement.
You're making an agreement. Wow.
And that is a loose and ambiguous term.
So they can use it any kind of way that they want to.
The only way that you know understanding is if you execute the knowledge that you grasp what was told.
Right. So basically, when they reading these rights to you, you have to comprehend these wordings that they saying lawfully to agree to it.
Yeah. You have to say yes that you do understand to loose and ambiguous terms.
That okay.
Yeah. So understand really is not a proper word that we should be using regularly.
Okay. Well, in my today hip hop news, man, it's going to be a little different. But I want to start off. Do we have that clip of that trailer? Because I do want to promote this. You have the trailer, Dre? Yeah. Okay. Because me and Dre, we have talked about this. I want to make a scary movie. I still want to do it. It's one of those things I just feel like I can do it. You know what I mean? We can get the right actors and family.
You have been trying to do a scary movie, like suspense type, even when you did the little one where he had like Jack the Painting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like even that one, you was like trying to do like suspenseful, like.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been trying to do a scary movie or like.
So, I've been weird for a long time. So, but to see this movie, it kind of bring back what if Claude and Ray really got down You know what I'm saying? They got the Mississippi bought their stuff, man. Came back, did their thing, and you know what I mean. Came, successful and went back home. Down in Mississippi, opened up a Jew joint, and some stuff went down. And I think that it was a good movie. It was, a good trailer to the. It's gonna be a good movie. I'm sorry. What's the director name, babe?
Ryan Coogler.
And Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Michael B. Jordan is playing a set of twins. Go ahead, roll it.
Keep going.
He's gonna be playing a set of twins, and with that, he's doing this crazy, amazing job of. Because it is hard playing a twin. You got to know that, yeah, they're alike, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know the certain personalities that you can bring upon. You know what I'm saying?
And playing a twin is different than playing just a regular non-twin sibling.
Yeah. You know.
Because your mannerisms are supposed to be so, but they're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
That's how you tell the difference from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though they look alike, but one person might do something different. You know what I'm saying? Keith used to do this all the time. It was like a Tourette's little thing, habit form or some shit. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know. Y'all look different to me.
Yeah,
you look similar, but you don't.
Look. When you're younger and different weight class, when you're the same weight class and stuff like that, and to like. Yeah, we dressed alike sometimes, but it wasn't like an everyday thing.
Y'all don't have the same vibe.
Yeah, because that's when I started, coming into my own. You know what I'm saying? When I came to my own, I wanted to be totally different.
Well, I did meet you when you were 24.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When I came to my own, I was wearing, MC Hammer pants and shit like that. Everybody else, Dickies and stuff. I did that, you know what I mean? But I was like, man, I don't want to stay like this. You know what I'm saying? I want to elevate. I want to,
Right. Yeah.
And I started doing karate and stuff. And
two whole totally different vibes for me.
Yeah. High top fades and, you know what I mean? Jay Riggins or
Jay Cruz. Jay Riggins.
E-Man. What was the name of the U-Man's?
I don't know, because sometimes we called
Oak Tree.
Oak Tree.
Yeah, Oak Tree.
Yeah, we had
Oak Tree. They had but it was like a U-Man brand or something.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. It was kind of with the cross colors.
Yeah, it was preppy. Yeah, it was preppy colors, like the weird color. I used to love that store. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Going there and have all those weird colors.
I've bought a shirt from Oak Tree for myself because they had some fire ass shirts.
I was into Paisley, so Oak Tree always had Paisley. Yeah. Let me get that little trailer of that, man. It's crazy. It's strange.
We've been gone a long time. Long time. We back now. You twins? Nah, we cousins.
There are legends of people with the gift of making music so true. It can conjure spirits from the past and the future. This gift can bring fame and fortune.
Will somebody take me?
So yeah, I ain't even gonna let it bite down too hard, cause man, that right there is gonna be, that's a tease. I did tease with the tease.
Yeah, I
so
do think that's gonna be
I want to end it, man, with my little hip hop, news of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's something different. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't what people would think is hip hop, but hip hop is really what mold the culture.
Yeah, and what we like, what we make.
Yeah.
Poppin' and popular.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The people who we think are good actors or good singers or good artists.
Because you hear a lot of, samples from Sting and Boy George or whatever, or George Michael, all this stuff. So we have to, put the people who paved the way for us. And that's the thing about hip hop, that you let people know that, the influence might have came from white people, because that's all we had at that time. You know what I'm saying? We had Rod Stewart. You know what I'm saying?
I think for the lack of the ability.
Because we coming out of disco. You know what I'm saying? The only one in disco was the black woman.
Blondie.
No, the black woman who
Donna Summer.
Donna Summers. You know what I'm saying? It was only one in the game like that on the disco.
Well, she was very high level. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because, even though you have the Isley Brothers and stuff like that.
That wasn't disco.
I know, but they try to get into that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Some of those songs you can do the disco.
Thank you. So, but they wasn't on that, let's dance.
Yeah.
Oh, let's dance. You know, they for me. Oh, had that what's the sequence on, boy, shining and disco ball going on, and you know, you had a partner.
I like disco.
Yeah, it was cool watching it on TV. I was still, shorty. I think it was like Dance Fever, then Benny Hills.
I don't know what that was like. You guys' programming order.
Yeah.
It came on Dance Fever, and then
because Dance Fever
and
came
then
on
Benny Hill.
Yeah, because Dance Fever came on after the news.
Really? Oh, that was sad for y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or
ours came on like prime time.
No, it came on probably like right before the news.
Y'all have Solid Gold?
Yeah, we had Solid Gold. Then after the news, because Benny Hill come on for an hour or something, then the TV cut off.
Right.
So Benny Hill was one of those, either MASH, because Benny Hill went out, so MASH took over.
MASH took over.
And,
I turned the TV
MASH.
off to MASH a lot.
So you got those pictures, Dre?
That turn the TV off used to be for real in our life.
Either one. It don't even matter which order. You know what I'm saying? We can go with either one first.
Gene Hackman is who he shows.
We'll just pop up and talk about Gene Hackman. He was a part of my Lex Luthor series in my life. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that this was a guy that we, for the first time, to see Superman fly, because we was used to seeing black and white Superman. You know what I mean?
I ain't even see black and white Superman.
Man, they made a noise when he flew, and he only flew like coming in, like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the special effects to that. You just knew he just dropped in like that. You know what I mean? Like, or he'd take off like, you know what I mean? That's the only thing. He come in there, y'all buffing that little tight suit, so at least for a single bound. Faster than a speeding bullet.
It was in black and white?
Yeah, the original Superman.
Wow.
So to see a Superman in color, was this.
Right.
And because,
Oh, I'm thinking Batman.
That's Batman was Adam Wayne.
Yeah,
West.
I'm
Adam
thinking
West.
I didn't watch Superman.
So when Superman came in, and Lex Luthor was the villain, that Lex Luthor, he played that role. Because right here, he got the hair, but he lost it. And this was when he lost the hair to become like Lex Luthor. You know what I'm saying? He was a rich dude, but like he was just on some thinking stuff right now. But once he met Superman, he was like, yeah, this what I'm finna do. And it just planted the seed in the minds of the kids to say, wow, he resembles to Lex Luthor. He played. So he passed away, man. I think he kind of like passed away from some measles thing. What was going on?
I don't know. His wife died.
The same thing. What happened was, I just heard that.
Oh, okay. I haven't read.
Because they got a big outbreak going down in Texas and stuff with the measles. So something like a deer virus that you could catch from deer poop or something like that.
They was saying something like that.
And what happened was, I guess he had died and they were suffering sick, and she died a few days later or several days.
She died first, and then he died later.
Yeah. So just imagine, you up in age and this happened to you. So.
And he had Alzheimer's and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm
something.
paying homage
Dementia.
to that for my hip hop. What's the next one you going with? Oh man, now this one, you know, I've learned to honor his. He played in other things, but to really see the role that for me just kind of took his level of knowing knowing that his skill of as an artist mentally was the movie when he played in the part he played in Heat. You know, one of my favorite movies. And so many, you know, old school movies back in the 80s, but when he did Heat as a artist, I just took on that persona of how he can change and zone out into this character, you know what I'm saying? And I honored that, and I think I look at that when I do have to change into a person to become this character or whatever. I go back and look like, wow, like how would he play that? You know what I'm saying? Because he will zone out. It's just, you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like he will become this whole, I'm your Huckleberry type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm not mistaken, he played in Tombstone too, right?
Yes, he did.
As you know, Doc Holliday.
Yes.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I'm your Huckleberry. So I got to give that up to him. And another old school person that people don't really probably remember unless you know 50 plus was the original Dennis the Menace. He just passed away today at 76 years old. The original Dennis the Menace, if you know Dennis the Menace, he was a menace. He would terrorize Mr. Wilson. The cartoon was nothing compared to the TV show Dennis the Menace. This boy, Mr. Wilson!
Not the movie,
you know,
the little movie they have, Dennis the Menace. That wasn't nothing. This little boy right here,
yeah,
he set the tone for spitballs, doing pranks and all kind. No.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody,
I don't want my kids watching
yeah,
that.
he would teach your kids to really
be a little
get on your nerves. Like
yes.
he come up behind you doing all type of stuff. And that was the coolest
ruin
thing.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know? No.
So as we end this wonderful, lovely show, we will always put it in the good words of Prince T. Rogers. Sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. 1, 2, 1, 2. Forgive me, for I have already forgiven myself. See y'all later.